Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of DojoLIVE, connecting tech experts like you. And in today's edition, we are here with Justin Gordon. Justin is the CEO and founder of Shakacode, a technology consulting firm focused on helping e-commerce and marketplace websites better use Ruby on Rails and React. We are very happy to welcome Justin to this edition of DojoLIVE. This occasion, we're going to be talking a lot of Ruby on Rails and React. So, Justin, thank you for your time, for being here with us. And first of all, we would like to for you to tell us about yourself and what you do. Just a quick introduction.
Thank you for inviting me. Let's see, where should I start? A long time ago, I've been programming computers since I was a little kid, since the 80s. I've been working in Silicon Valley startups was working in Silicon Valley startups for many years. I did a lot of Java programming before, and about 2012, I started to get into Ruby on Rails and web apps. And then I got into working with React and Webpack. And I created an open source library called React on Rails. And that is the most popular solution in the Ruby on Rails community for integrating Ruby on Rails with React, which is I think one of the best solutions there is for building marketplace and e-commerce sites. Companies such as Airbnb use React and Ruby on Rails, so even some bigger companies use that. What else can I tell you a little bit about me? I live here in Hawaii. I love living here in Hawaii. That's where we got the name of the company, is Shakacode. This is like a shaka sign.
Cool, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. A little more about what we do is that we've actually got, besides actually helping other travel technology companies with their software needs, we actually have our own technology startup. And the website is called Hawaii Chi. That's spelled with a C-H-E-E, hawaiichi.com. And hawaiichi.com seems like another vacation rental listing site, maybe like an Airbnb or VRBO, but it's actually quite a bit different. And the number one reason why it's different is that we transparently show travelers comparison prices between Airbnb, VRBO, and our site, Hawaii Chi. And we just don't show you, we don't only show you the comparison prices. You can actually go and see the same listing, the same product. You're going to buy something, the same listing, and you can go over to the VRBO site or the Airbnb site. We link directly to them. So it's a completely transparent price comparison.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So here with us are our co-hosts, Tulio and Carlos. Sorry, guys, I missed you. I missed to introduce you guys.
I'm checking in from Pacific Palisades today in California, just across the pond from you, Justin. You grew up there?
I went to Palisades High, and I grew up about probably less than a mile from where you're sitting.
Oh, that's funny. You went to Pali High. That's where my kids are going to go. That's awesome. So, I'm like a couple of miles from where the fires took place, but the air's good today, and I decided to come out here today.
You're more than a couple miles.
A little more, yes, that's for sure. And Carlos, where are you today?
I'm sorry, Tulio. What was that again?
Where are you today? Mexico City?
Yeah, I'm in Mexico City right now.
Awesome. Dulce, what's the topic for today that Justin's going to cover?
Okay, well, today Justin picked the topic of Ruby on Rails plus React, awesomeness for travel tech. Justin, why did you choose to talk about this topic?
I'm sorry, your connection broke up. Can you please repeat that? What's the topic you want to talk about?
Sure. Today's topic is Ruby on Rails plus React, awesomeness for travel tech. Why did you choose this topic?
Well, I think this is, look, I've been doing software for many years, working in startup companies, and I don't think I made that big of an impact on the industry as a whole, just learning and doing stuff. But I got really lucky in the Ruby on Rails community in the sense that very early on I got involved with a technology called Webpack and React. I know a few people from Facebook, and they said, hey, you should look into this stuff. And so I was just a complete innovator, pioneer in this area. You could see it from my blog articles and my open source, is that I put together the glue for putting this stuff together. And I think it's interesting to your audience in the sense that possibly a lot of different travel tech companies are using Ruby on Rails for their backend solution, and a lot of them are considering using React or already using React. There's only a few options, very popular options for how to do a very nice interactive application. So React is one, Angular, etc. But React is by far now the most popular.
So Justin, I have a question. What is React on Rails? How does it differ from like React on Rails Pro? What's the difference there?
Okay, so React on Rails is open source, it's free, and React on Rails gives the company everything they need to get started. And I've been putting a lot of time into this and thinking about how I can build a premium product for a few companies that might want to go beyond just the open source. And so React on Rails Pro, what it does, it provides a bunch of performance type enhancements to basic React on Rails. And so the reason why a company would use React on Rails Pro is they have a real high volume of requests and they just need better performance. And so we're helping a lot of different companies do that. And I've written some articles recently about how to do this. Like, for example, there's a great e-commerce site called hvmn.com, and they make performance supplements for both athletes and cognitive performance. And big shout out to them. I've been using them for years and love their products. And they used my open source for many years. And then they came to me and said, hey, we got to get our site much faster. And so we were able to apply React on Rails Pro and gave them a little bit of custom help. And so that brought down, literally gave them a 90% performance improvement. So maybe what took 9 seconds, what was taking 10 seconds, then was taking only 1 second on their server.
Well, that's a pretty significant improvement. Is this part of what you do as Shakacode? Is this one of your services? What is it that you offer?
I mean, this is what we do with Shakacode, is we help other e-commerce and marketplace sites that are probably using React or Ruby on Rails and probably using React, although we're helping some companies move over from other web technologies over to React. Like I can give you another example actually in the travel tech space. One of our clients is a company called Resort Pass. So Resort Pass enables you to do, and I would be, say that you want to go, say Tulio, you want to go take your family over to some hotel pool. They got maybe a water slide, and maybe you're staying at a vacation rental, so you're not staying at the hotel. So what you do is you use the Resort Pass app, you buy a day pass for you and your family, and you can go there. So they have a marketplace for that sort of purchase. So they came to us because they were using another web technology. It gotten outdated, and they knew they wanted to move over to React. So we were able to apply all the investment that we've put into, or a lot of investment we've been putting into our Hawaii Chi marketplace app, and help that company out with it. So we take the open source that we build with React on Rails, which is a glue for React and Ruby on Rails, and then we're also applying the technology from our own startup to our consulting clients. I don't think that's something any other consulting company is really doing at the level that we're doing at. And I think if you go to our hawaiichi.com site, you look at it and you see the quality there, I would venture to say, no pun intended, you would say that's the quality you expect from a bigger company or a venture-backed company, not just a small little consulting firm.
Speaking of Hawaii, Chief, first I have to ask, why Hawaii? How did you end up in Hawaii? What brought you there? Did I break up?
Yeah, I started coming to Hawaii many years ago, at first for windsurfing. I ended up in Maui, and when I was in Maui, I started making so many trips to Maui. I used to go over to Lake Tahoe from the Bay Area, and then all of a sudden I started going to Maui and pretty much stopped going to Lake Tahoe, and I like the beach better than the mountains, and got into windsurfing. I bought some property over in Maui, and then that was also how I got exposed to the vacation rental industry a bit. So that just basically fell in love with Hawaii. I mean, I think a lot of people fall in love with Hawaii. So And then after that, and now I'm actually living over in Oahu quite a bit, and just love doing everything in the water, being at the beach many times a day, etc.
Cool.
That is so great.
Yeah,
It's a great place for doing remote work.
we should have done this live from Hawaii. So what is Hawaii Chi? Give us a little bit more detail. You've talked about that a few times. Your own product.
So I just wanted to, there are a lot of changes going on in the vacation rental industry over the past few years. So before it used to be done much more like a listing service and like Craigslist or VRBO, then along came Airbnb, became much more transactional. And then what's happened is that VRBO moved over to this transactional model, so that all of a sudden the guests cannot get in touch directly with the host. You cannot exchange personal information, etc., until the transaction's done. It's a little bit like eBay in that sense. And for many years before, people, the buyers and sellers in this marketplace were able to go directly to each other. And so the big companies, Airbnb and VRBO, will take anywhere from 8 to 15% in fees. And so what we're doing is we're going to be we are already enabling travelers to get in touch with the host directly and to avoid those fees. And that, a lot of companies are trying to do that, but we're going a step above all those companies. We're doing essentially what Trivago is doing for hotels, is we're providing a transparent price comparison. So Julio, you can go see the same listing on Airbnb, VRBO, and on our site, and you can choose for yourself where to get the best deal. I mean, Julio, if you were going to go buy, say, a new Ford or something like that, a new car, you might use another site and compare 3 different dealerships in the LA area. And you're going to get the same car. Maybe you got to drive a little differently to go there, talk to somebody a little bit different. And the vacation rental industry is a little bit like that in a sense. You're going to stay in the same place. You're going to stay the same dates. You're going to stay with the same host. So why not get the best deal? And we help travelers do that.
So you mentioned that it's a little like Trivago, but what I like about your site is I actually can link and compare to the listing of VRBO and Airbnb. So there's it's not like, hey, it's 20% off and you don't actually prove it. You actually prove it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. One of the beliefs or one of our philosophies about the company is honesty and transparency at an extreme level as much as we can. So when you come to our site, you're able to link directly you're able to go see the same product on different sites. We don't take any affiliate fees. And it's just really, we're just trying to build a useful product that travelers will love enough, and hopefully they'll share it with their friends. Right now, we're not spending much money on Google and Facebook advertising. SEO is very competitive in the travel space. But what we are doing is we're leveraging technology to provide travelers something that is useful. And also we have a great inventory in Hawaii as well.
Okay, great. I have a question. So Justin, why would a host use Hawaiian Chi to increase profitability?
A good question. Why would a host use a Hawaii Chi to increase profitability? And you nailed it right on the head. I mean, our goal is to help the host increase their profitability. So first of all, we work in the Hawaii market. VRBO and Airbnb are by far the dominant players. So we don't really see TripAdvisor and Booking.com as much. So the combination of all the listings in Hawaii is mostly going to be on Airbnb and VRBO. So we work with the host. The hosts know that. The hosts know that they need to use VRBO and or Airbnb and not just their own website. However, the hosts really do want to have an alternative for touch with them directly. Everybody knows if you're, whatever product you're selling, if there's some additional surcharge on that product for consumers to buy it, it's going to lower the demand for your product. And the hosts see this all the time. They go like, well, I want to, your price is too high. Can't you lower it a bit? Can't you lower it a bit? And the hosts are going, it is kind of low, but the hosts don't even realize how much the travelers often are paying on Airbnb and VRBO with the fees, because it's pretty much, it's just not shown to the host ever. It's shown on the guest bill, but not the host bill. So the question then again is that what do hosts want to increase their profitability? Well, the hosts want more inquiries. So we're able to do that to some effect right now. However, we're not getting a ton of inquiries yet. And the reason why is because we're not spending a lot of money on advertising yet. And to be honest with you, the product where it is right now, I expect it to be getting much better over the next few months. And then we will be turning up the advertising. So I think the way that hosts should look at this, it's not, you know, first of all, the host, we want to help the host maximize their profitability. So we're telling the host, yeah, you should definitely go on Airbnb and VRBO. They're the dominant players in the industry. And we're going to give you an alternative so that travelers know that they can go through our site, book directly with you, and save on those fees so you can have this direct relationship with your guest. So, and over time, because of what we're offering, we do plan to really bump up the amount of inventory we have here in Hawaii, and it'll just take a while. And so we'll become an alternative for these hosts to get additional inquiries through our site.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Justin, I'd like to ask you, what sort of, when building hawaiichi.com, what sort of roadblocks have you found along the way? And how did you overcome them? I think that's a lot of our viewers are going to find your insight very useful.
Well, so in terms of roadblocks, I mean, I think any, you know, every startup that's got the challenge of you're trying to achieve product market fit, and essentially you want to provide something that people will buy. I've told my team is that what I want to make sure is that we're selling something that we would recommend to our best friend. Now, on the traveler side, I believe we finally have got something that's pretty amazing, and there's going to be some more really good stuff coming out in the near future. But for right now, I mean, who would not, if you knew that you were able to get in touch with most of the listings in Hawaii, and you could compare the same listing on VRBO or Airbnb, why would you not tell a friend to double check before you paid? So that's on the traveler side. Now on the host side, it's a little bit tougher because we need to earn money from the host. And, you know, so we need to do that in order to eventually to grow the business to get through the ad, you know, get enough traffic to the site. So it's definitely very challenging. So what we have to do in terms of on the host side is we have to make it very low cost to them, at least to get started off, until they develop the trust in us that we're going to help them. So it's very, I mean, I think it's the same challenge a lot of travel companies, you know, any company in the travel space is purchasing ads is going to be very expensive and SEO is going to be very tough. So then what else are you going to do? Well, we're doing stuff, we're trying to leverage technology, bring something of value to the travelers. Hopefully the travelers will like us enough that we will be able to grow our business without spending a lot of money on advertising. Do we know that this is going to work? Of course not. Does any startup really know it's going to work? Of course not. So we have pivoted a few times. One of the things is that at first we started off with building a website that worked for anywhere in the US. And in fact, on our site right now, you can find listings all over the US. But our marketing and our name is all focused on Hawaii, because in terms of building a marketplace, you have to have enough supply and enough demand for one specific niche in order to be a viable market. So that was certainly one of the challenges. I think technology, and you know, to get the technology done right, especially with a small team and a limited budget, is hugely hard. It's hard for us. It's hard for our clients. It's hard for every company. And I tell companies that nowadays it's easier than ever to build an amazing application. You know, the tools are unbelievable compared to where they were before. However, it's harder than ever because one is that everybody else can use these tools, and every application you make has to work perfectly on your phone. It has to work perfectly on your tablet. It's got to work perfectly on every single environment, Mac OS, it's got to work Windows, Android, iPhones, etc. So the level of expectation is even higher than the improved productivity from all the better tools.
Okay, awesome.
So what do you think?
Thank you so much, Justin. Dulce, I think you had a question, right?
I do have a question.
Cool.
Justin, talking about challenges, what are some of the key product roadmaps plans you have for Hawaiian Chi to address your challenges and better serve your customers?
Well, in terms of better serving the customers, one of the things we're working on for the host, and that's going to be available very, very soon, is we're just giving them data about their listings and how they appear on the different marketplaces like Airbnb and VRBO. Are their calendars the same on Airbnb and VRBO? And basically, we're leveraging technology to help the host and to help the guest. So there's just, there's quite a lot to what we're doing in terms of, I think when you'll see on our website over the next week, quite a bit more than you see right now in terms of, this transparent price comparison. And I think over the coming year, you'll see a massive amount of more inventory on our site for Hawaii, so that I'll be able to tell any friend that's going to come travel to Hawaii, definitely go look on Hawaiichi. You're going to see there all the inventory, and you'll be able to compare, directly, this same product on Airbnb versus VRBO versus going direct to the manager.
Great,
Hey,
you.
Carlos, I have another question, but before we do that, is it time?
I think it is, Tulio. Right, actually it is, because it's 3:21. So I guess, here in this end. So yeah, it's about time to showcase and show off our high-grade technical expertise in coding. So go ahead, be my guest.
Yeah, so I just realized behind me there's some kind of a structure. It looks like I have a unicorn coming out of my head. But anyway, okay, here we go. So I'm going to activate the chat bot. Ready?
I'm ready.
We can open this up to questions. Yes, from audience.
Here it is.
Okay, here we go. Boom. Let's go.
Boom. This is, if you have any questions for Justin, okay, just look at our chat bot here. It offers it's fully integrated with Twitter, by the way. Okay, so let me just frame it properly. Okay, here it is. So this is a fully Twitter integrated chatbot that we have. It's his second appearance here on DojoLIVE. If you have any questions for Justin, just make sure you send them on Twitter right here at DojoLIVE. This is high tech, guys. Don't try this at home unless you're with an expert. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna disconnect the chatbot now.
Disconnect, please.
Here we go. Done.
Here we go. Disconnect it, and it's going away. Say hi. Bye. Okay.
All right.
All right. Cool. So, I have two questions.
Sure.
First, I'm curious for you to share with the audience, what are some of the key lessons you've learned in entrepreneurship or in building a product that's come out of, you mentioned a few pivots and challenges.
Yeah.
What would you share sort of in terms of the lessons learned?
I think one of the key lessons I'm working on with the team is we cannot trust ourselves as much with our screen mock-ups. So I think we have a pretty darn good engineering process of, I've got several designers on the team, and these designers, they help with our Hawaiichi product, and they help with our clients, Shakacode, and they do an absolutely amazing job of doing pixel perfect designs. And so we have internal debates endlessly about, how exactly are we going to build this product? And then we get around to building it because we're exhausted discussing it so much. We use Sketch to do the mockups. We use Envision app to go and review all this stuff. And I'm talking, we have three designers and a bunch of us on the team. And the big mistake that we've done is we don't go find any strangers to go and see how they interact with these designs. And I just read the book Sprint, actually listened to it on Audible. And one of the key things there is go hire, off Craigslist or whatever, hire people to go and play around with your stuff. Because if you just ask your friends and your family or other people that know your stuff, they think, oh, it looks great. Okay. But better user testing with actual real users, and it's hard work, and it seems like it's more work. But actually, when in the end, when you build the stuff and you realize you have to go through another product iteration because people went there and they didn't get it, stuff that was so obvious to the team, it's not obvious to somebody that's coming to the site. Like I think right now our website, it looks too much like any other listing site. It looks like an Airbnb or VRBO or any of a million other sites. It's got to be absolutely in bold and yelling at the person who comes there. It's like buying a car at different dealerships. Why would you not use the site? But if you don't understand that, it's not visible enough. And sometimes I think the designers, they make things look a little too pretty, but they're not just bold enough for people to just, quick glance and see what it is.
I have to tell you, I learned a while ago that it's always an hypothesis until you validate it. And
yeah.
it sounds good sometimes to the people involved in the trenches, emotionally attached, but validate with the external, like you said, with external users or customers, it's always a different thing. So that's a great piece of advice for sure. Hey, Carlos, any questions from the audience?
Yeah, actually, yes. We have a question from one of our guys here, Axel, our UX design, one of our UX UI experts. And Axel, hold on a second, let me just read it here from our Slack channel. He says, Justin, what excites you more, building your product or providing services to the travel tech industry?
That's a good question. What excites me more, building our product or providing services to the travel tech industry? Well, revenue-wise, it excites me much more helping other companies be successful, because as a startup, we're funding the whole startup from helping out other companies. And I actually do look, React on Rails has been downloaded, I think I just checked, over 1.4 million times. And there are thousands of public websites that you can go to, including some very, very big ones that are running off React on Rails. And I'm using this technology to help many of these other companies, and it's absolutely awesome. And we're able to leverage this stuff. But, like any entrepreneur, what is the ultimate? Look, I went to school for all these years. I studied all this programming. I worked for other people. And I think, gosh, if I could only have my own company, I could do it right, and I'll make lots of money, and it'll be easy. Well, the only thing I learned in that sort of thought process is that you can spend a lot of money in this educational process of trying to figure out how to do the startup thing. And it is very, very tough. And there are very, very many ways to make mistakes. Excitement-wise, look, I'm absolutely thrilled with what my team's doing and building this product that I really feel like I'll be able to recommend to any friend traveling to Hawaii to say, hey, use this product. Now, the next goal, of course, is we have to make the host very profitable, because they have to make us profitable in this business. It's the crazy hardest challenge I've ever done in my life. It just never stops. We just keep going, and it's just never good enough. So
yeah, pretty amazing.
It's a bad answer. I think they're both really exciting. And I'm glad I got something to fall back on, the technology stuff. And I'm glad that we are, I'm proud to say we're totally independent. We're totally self-funded. I think that's something that, other tech startups don't have the option to do.
No, I think that's fantastic. I think it's beautiful. I think that's great advice. Maybe some people have some amazing skills where they could do that and fund their startup. One of the beautiful things I love about this is I get to talk to a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of really amazing luminaries. And a couple of weeks ago, a founder of a really cool app asked me some advice on how to better position herself for funding. And I said to her, don't build an app, build a business. Investors want to invest in a business. Have you found have you find yourself, like when you're building your product, it sounds to me like you're building a business. It's not just an app, right? Are you finding that's a big difference in terms of balancing that out, the excitement towards the app versus, hey, we got to be building something that's profitable, generates revenue, it's a business?
Yeah, I don't think I think the excitement's the wrong word. I think it's a lot of work regardless. It's a lot of challenges. It's very challenging marketing ourselves as a technology agency, as a consulting agency. And the only marketing that's ever been successful for me is just giving away everything I know and really contributing to the community through conference talks like RailsConf, GoRuCo, I've spoken at those, and really the open source, which literally thousands of companies use to run their software. So that gives me a way to connect with these companies, and immediately there's some trust in terms of what we're doing. So I think it's also worth mentioning that we're just, in terms of the level of help we're able to provide these companies, it is extremely satisfying that we're able to leverage the work that we've done on YG and really bring it over to our consulting practice. So even though it's been, it's really super tough to make money, building any one of these listing sites. I think any of you that know about travel tech and just how many of these listing sites have just lost extreme amounts of money, right? And how many of them have actually made it?
Well, I think we're coming up on time. It always gets interesting right before the time is up. So Dulce, I want to thank you for being our guest, and I'm going to pass it to Dulce to wrap things up with us.
Well, I want to mention too, just I think is that my contact information should be on the landing page. I'm Justin at Shakacode.com. I'm always happy to speak to other people that can help. So if you think I can help your business, whether it's a vacation rental company, whether you're looking to book a vacation, or you want to have me apply what we've done in our open source and also with the experience not only of building Hawaii, but many other companies, travel tech and e-commerce, marketplace, etc., please do get in touch with me.
Awesome. We'll make sure to have that on the list on the page for sure.
Absolutely. I'm going to be updating the page pretty soon with any other pertinent info, Justin. So worry not. It'll all be there for our viewers, whether now or in the future, to just resort to the landing page. It's all the info is going to be there, so they can contact you directly. So no worries about that. So Dulce, I'm going to pass it on to you to wrap up.
Sure. So we want to thank you, everyone in our audience, for joining us today. Thank you, Justin, for your time, and thank you, Tulio and Carlos, for being here today. And hopefully, one day we will be going to Hawaii, and we'll make sure to use Hawaiian Chi to get the best experience out of Hawaii. So that will be great. And so if we have anything more to add, I don't know, guys, if you have anything.
Not on this end, Dulce, other than sending Justin a big, heartfelt, warm thank you, Justin, for having been with us today here on Dojo Live. We look forward to being in touch, and that's all I have. Again, thank you so much for being here with us, Justin. We're going to be in touch. Tulio.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Our pleasure. Okay, guys, everyone, have a good day.
Okay, bye-bye.